This is a sequel or companion piece to my 4.5 minute video, Why Fallout 3's Hook Works and Fallout 4's Does Not. Of the modern 3D Fallout games, the one that has the best intro, at least for an open world sandbox, is honestly New Vegas. Go figure. At least vanilla New Vegas. Let's talk about why. Both 3 and 4 have introductions that supposedly have you motivated to journey on a very specific quest. And your characters are at least depicted as being focused on said goals, although not well. This is a byproduct of the Sole Survivor and Lone Wanderer having pre-written in-stone backstories. And while New Vegas' DLCs might have added backstory to the Courier, honestly not sure, I've never played through Lonesome Road. Much like a stable crash-free gaming session, however, they aren't part of the vanilla New Vegas experience. New Vegas begins with the plaid man taking an item from you and shooting you in the head. I'm not making a Friends joke. Wait, does that count as making a Friends joke? Damn it. Now, why would this be more freeing or roleplay friendly than the other two games? In both 3 and 4, you're looking for family that hypothetically could be in grave danger. In New Vegas, your only motivation is revenge! In theory, at least. I suppose it could be some kind of delivery man's pride. However, while searching for your lost kin is almost universally empathizable, hunting down a clearly powerful and dangerous man after you by some miracle survived a bullet to the brain is not. Vengeance can be an understandable motivator, but so is avoiding the guy who nearly killed you. And if character creation is anything to go by, which is actually canonical in this game, no, I'm not joking, it's part of the story. The process may have altered your very mental state and even physical abilities. That is one hell of a surgery. I know if I survived an attempt on my life and suddenly woke up a genius, my first course of action wouldn't be to hunt down the attacker, and if I woke up stronger than an ox and dumber than a frickin' cinder block, it would probably be to hunt down the SOB. But not always. This does mean, for role-playing purposes at least, the character creation alone is superior. No matter what your characters in 3 and 4 look like, they will always have their pre-game history set in stone. So role-playing them in certain ways breaks your immersion fairly quickly. After all, no matter how much of a sarcastic jackass the Sole Survivor can be, they're still family-oriented. It's kind of the whole point of their character. Their badly written character. The Lone Wanderer is a vault-dwelling teenager who may never have wanted to leave said vault in the first place, and who is often reminded to look for Liam Neeson even if you personally don't want to. In New Vegas, even if you choose to believe Doc Mitchell's patch job didn't affect your personality, because of your more open background, you can roleplay almost any build in a way that doesn't break immersion. Say you're Cinderblock but don't want to do the main quest right away. Well, you could have your courier be traumatized by Benny specifically, but be a raged-out Hulk against anything else. By basically saying to yourself, nothing has ever come close to killing them before or after Benny. He could be the exception that just doesn't fit in Cinderblock's already dim mind, so you have an understandable reason to put off the main quest. And say you were playing a genius character who would normally never risk getting anywhere near Benny again, but you want to do the main quest. You could simply say they did the math and realized if you left all the proverbial pieces on the board, it would result in a disaster that would eventually gravely affect themselves. Frankly, your personalized backstory for the courier could be any combination of things, assuming the DLCs didn't screw that up. After all, the only thing set in stone here, as far as I know, is that you took one courier job and had a handful of stuff on you at the time of being domed. So all that being said, let's summarize. Fallout 4 emotionally pushes you into a quest to save, let's be honest, a supervillain, while forcing a pre-written backstory on you. Fortunately, this video isn't about how little sense Nora's backstory in particular makes, so moving on. Fallout 3 pushes you to find and maybe save somebody who is frankly vastly more qualified than the fresh-out-of-the-vault Lone Wanderer to survive the wastelands. And honestly, the game wants you to know that. He is played by Liam Neeson after all. In Fallout New Vegas, I'm fairly sure no one pushes you to find the plaid man and beat him to death with a bunch of dog tags taped together. At least not early on, other than maybe a personal vendetta that isn't often remarked on by anyone else. So you don't necessarily feel rushed to get to the main quest. In fact, the game kinda discourages rushing through. And let's be honest, some of New Vegas' best stuff is from side quests. New Vegas also allows you to fill in the character's backstory for yourself. After all, it's not about your past, it's about the adventure unfolding right now. In fact, you're so free in this game, you don't even have to kill the Plaid Man. You can take steps to save that glorious jacket, and I suppose the not-so-glorious man wearing it. As such, in my not-so-esteemed opinion, Fallout 4 has a poorly thought-out intro that ironically feels like railroading. Fallout 3 has a slightly better story-based intro that doesn't necessarily put too much pressure on you once you're out of the vault, but still feels restricting, especially in the backstory department. Fallout New Vegas has an intro that doesn't put familial pressure on you and frankly feels freeing. After all, every single person who survived what the courier did would react in at least a slightly different manner. Well, that's all for now. Thank y'all for listening to my inane ramblings.